just Quinton Grimes made his debut tonight. Played 26 minutes, which at one point was the most on the team at the start of the fourth quarter. He had 5 points, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 of 8 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. That probably should be 2 of 5 at least, because his first 3 of the night was literally down and rolled out. And I really like what I saw. I mean, I'm going to give it a few more games before I start saying he should be in the starting lineup. But if you have the chance, if you haven't watched the game yet, go back and watch the way he fights through screens. I haven't seen anyone on the Pistons like that. He just, like I said, those Magic guys have huge players setting picks, and he just fights through them, is able to, a lot of the time, get back in front of his man or just stay on their hip and make it hard for them on the drive. I was really impressed with his defense. And like I said at the start, I feel like his intensity on that end kind of inspired some of his teammates around him. And I mean, plus minus says he's -9. He was out there a lot of the time with all bench lineups. I'll be interested to see how many minutes he played with any of the other starters. But, you want to see more shots drop. But the 4 assists, during the game, I was about to tweet out, being really impressed with his passing. And as I was about to hit send, he threw a turnover, which, was a little bit on the roll man in Wiseman. But I was really impressed with his passing, because Quinton Grimes, a stat came up in the broadcast, 70% of his points come from the 3-point line. So he's not a guy that's going to do a lot inside the arc. But I thought he showed a little bit off the dribble to create inside the arc and make passes to open men, which I thought, if he's going to attack off closeouts, if you're not going to finish as often, then at least be able to make the right pass. And I think he did that tonight and resulted in 4 assists. So solid debut from him. And it's good to see. I feel like he's going to be a favorite of Monty's, and regardless of what you think of Monty, with his rotation and everything, I think you just have to be happy that you feel like Quinton Grimes is going to play a substantial role, because with some of the bizarre moves we've seen from Monty this season, there is a world where Quinton Grimes could somehow only play 10 minutes a night, and we're seeing Malachi Flynn play minutes over him. And yeah, so solid debut from him. And then Simone Fontecchio, I thought, was excellent, particularly in the first 2.5 quarters. In the first half, especially when the Pistons were struggling, I think he had 12 in the first half of his 17 points. Another efficient night, over 50% from the field, 3 of 5 from deep, 5 assists. Just that's seeming like one of Troy's best moves as GM. Regardless of kind of putting all the asset management aside, just that trade in itself seeming excellent so far. A lot of it might depend ultimately how much Fontecchio gets paid in the offseason, but as far as a shooting big wing that can play a bit of defense pass, Fontecchio is perfect. 28 years old. He's the right age to help these young guys. He knows who he is as a player, I think, which is really important with all the young guys Detroit have. They need guys surrounding them who know who they are and are happy to play their role. Another reason why I really like Quinton Grimes, even if he's a bit younger, he knows his role. He knows he's going to be a 3-and-D guard/small wing. So I think adding those two was a real big win at the deadline. And I'm fingers crossed they can stay healthy. Fingers crossed we can get Stu back soon, because I think he would have been a huge hand tonight. Regardless of what you think of Stu on offense and that kind of thing, I think Jalen Duren could have desperately used his kind of rebounding ability and just interior presence overall, so to support him. But look, there's no moral victories with this team. They went out the window once his team lost 20-odd games. But this all still absolutely sucks. I think just personally, it's weird. Tonight was fun. Watching that game was fun because I actually felt emotions towards this team. I was sitting there with my hands in a prayer position, just praying they could somehow win this game. My mindset this season has changed from, last season I was hoping they would lose because we were all in on Wemby. But this season, I've never been so desperate just to see this team win. And tonight, honestly, I felt like they were going to lose in the end because it's just become the way it is. But once K hit that bucket, it was 109 all. I was just praying somehow they could win, but it wasn't to be. Just wasn't to be. So it just adds to what has been just a horrible, horrible season. Even though we can find silver linings and things seem to be trending a little bit better than they were at the end of last year, 2023, still just sucks, all these losses. And just the fact we don't know what we're going to get next game, rotation-wise. I haven't even really touched on Monty's rotations. The all bench lineups were out tonight. Marcus Sasser was a late out, so Malachi Flynn got minutes. I mean, Kate Cunningham sat way too long in that fourth quarter. Pistons should have had him back in at around the 8-minute mark, not like the 6-minute mark. But just the fact you don't know what you're going to get 99 out rotationally just kind of, whilst I'm excited about some of these players that Pistons have added, and, you know, I'm excited for Stu to come back, Sasser to come back, like, it just would not surprise me if, like, Malachi Flynn and Evan Fournier are taking Marcus Sasser's minutes, and that will make me explode. I was ready to tonight because I didn't realize Marcus Sasser was out. Look, Monty played 10 guys tonight, but I think that's because of injuries, not because he's looking to shorten that rotation. So, yeah, just, I don't know. Just this season just continues to be bizarre. And, yeah, tonight was just another gut punch. Although I've spoken pretty positively, like, it just sucks. So, fun game, I guess. But, you know, we'll turn up every night and keep watching this team. No matter what, we'll keep pumping out content, no matter what, because there are plenty of players I like on this roster. But, yeah, man, it would be just nice to see this team go 500 over like an 8-game stretch. Like, that's where I'm at. Just want to see maybe 2 wins in a row, or maybe 3 games. That's too much. Probably too much to ask, though. But look, anyway, we'll be back to recap the doubleheader coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday, which starts in New York. But until then, unless there's any breaking news, go Pistons.